Hello, and thanks for listening to JoJo's Bizarre Podcast.
Sorry, were you saying something?
My name's Mark, and of course, I am joined by that voice. That is Miles. Hello, Miles.
Hello.
And we are also joined, of course. I say of course, because everyone knew that. When you looked at the title of the podcast, you were like, it's probably three people named Mark, Miles, and Jackie.
I'm Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
And this is a podcast we do about the TV anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, currently in its 5th season, but covering the 6th arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean. And we're going to be talking about episode 9 today.
Marilyn Manson.
Yes, we're going to be talking about the debt collector Marilyn Manson. Not related to anybody.
It's Marilyn Manson in Japanese, though.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's identical, like phonetically in Japanese anyway.
Yeah.
Miles, what
I can't wait for
what else are you watching these days besides the JoJo anime? What else are you into?
Top Chef.
Okay. I like how you say that.
Seinfeld.
You say that with the tone like, is that enough? Is that what you want, Mark? Is that good enough? We've also been watching Seinfeld, though.
Is that enough? Yesterday we watched Tick, Tick, Boom, the film.
Oh, how was that?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Been watching a lot of Miyazaki.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you mentioned My Neighbor Totoro. What else did you watch?
We watched most of Kiki's Delivery Service yesterday.
It's good?
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I think I liked it better upon the second viewing.
Is it because you had a baby who was giggling?
No, I thought it was kind of a snooze the first time I saw it, but now I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good depiction of what it's like to be a teen.
Yeah, with all the magic and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. We've also been watching Seinfeld, but I don't know if you're doing this, but we are going through it chronologically, episode by episode.
I was doing that for a while, and then I got bored, and I skipped, sometimes, I've been watching, a big chunk of season 7, and then a big chunk of season 5. There's no explanation.
We're in
when
5.
I'm watching it, much like this podcast.
We're in 5 now, and something I forgot about was last episode of this podcast, I mentioned that Etro uses 3 squares of toilet paper, and you guys laughed at my unit of measurement, squares. And I remembered that the reason why I thought of it was because of the Seinfeld episode, The Stall, where Elaine asks the woman next to her if she can spare 3 squares of toilet paper. And that happened to be the episode Jackie and I watched while eating dinner tonight.
Yep.
So, once again,
Vindicated.
Seinfeld,
Dashboard Confessional,
and JoJo are the same show.
Okay.
Same. So before we talk beat by beat about the debt collector Marilyn Manson, Marilyn Man's son, I think is probably what it should have been called. We need to first take a stop we need to first take a walk on our friendship field.
Okay.
That's where we check in with our friends on the field, the diamond, the baseball field.
What
do you got?
We're playing catch up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're playing catch.
Good.
Okay, yeah, let's play a game of catch up with our listeners as we read emails that are sent to JoJo's Bizarre Pod at gmail.com. This first email is from Martin, and the subject line is 1,000 Faceballs. Hello, JJBPod crew. I wanted to write in for a long time now, but a new apartment and my job took all my time.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. The episodes are great, the anime and yours, of course, and this episode had the most insane game of catch I've ever seen. I rewatched it today twice to compare the sub to the German dub, and in my opinion, it's one of the better ones. Jolene's baseball barrage was cool as fuck. I knew it from All-Star Battle, that's the PlayStation 3 game, but never saw it in context. Japanese Poochie has the same voice actor as Gilgamesh from the Fate series, by the way, and I love his voice. A short question that Martin wants me to spoiler check, but we're all looking at this email now.
I'm not reading it. I'm not reading it because it says Mark spoiler check.
I think it's pretty vague.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I will say that I don't remember this manga well enough to tell you if the thing from the intro is foreshadowing anything. So my answer to you is I don't know. The email continues. Love you guys and stay safe during these hard times. P.S. Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny and lonely. Can someone revive Aya so she can use Cinderella on me to find true love?
Aw.
Now, what I want to know is Martin saying that they want Aya to swap their face so they can be attractive to other people, or do they want to find themselves attractive in the mirror and therefore be their own true love?
Cinderella did some kind of love matchmaking thing, didn't she?
I think she just changed your face and body and stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
It was a very specifically utilitarian stand.
But it was for love. Maybe.
I don't remember, really.
Okay. I don't remember.
I know
either.
Yukako wanted it, right? Did she? At some
know.
point? And I really just remember that
Yes.
when she's dead and they look for the culprit, you just see a hand like walking away like Thing from the Addams Family. And it opens the door. It was very funny to me.
I wish there was a like pop music outro. There's not, or is there? Is there a pop music outro?
Yeah,
I guess
it's just
there
not
is.
that big a hit.
It's just one that I haven't heard.
By
Okay.
Duffy. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about Duffy.
Okay. Fine.
Hillary Duffy.
Yeah. Well, I think it has to be Hillar Duffy because the Y moves. But that must be her full name.
The Y moves?
Yeah, Hillary Duff becomes Hiller Duffy
Oh, okay. I see.
Oh, I see.
in this non-existent thing for a joke.
Good joke.
Anyway, thank you. Jackie, can you read this next one from Josh?
Sure. Thanks for writing, Martin. This next email is from Josh, and the subject line is Gambling Perfected. Hey, JJBP crew. I'm going to jump right into my thoughts on this arc because it is one of my favorites. Marilyn Manson feels like Araki perfecting what he started with the Darby brothers. The tension is there, with Aramis being the one to lose, and sets the stakes of Miroshon's power, but the subject of the bet is one that allows for a lot more action and motion, along with creative moments of catching that ball. Whereas Darby brothers were beaten due to bluffing and cheating after sticking it out, the way to beat Miroshon is through a cunning loophole and a final great beatdown. It's a very creative fight, and it's unlike any other shonen battle I've seen before. One that breaks the formula just enough. Part 6 has its ups and downs, but I definitely feel like this is one of the best parts. Plus, this is the first arc where Foo Fighters really shines. She's the best girl. I don't have much else to say except I hope you guys have a good week. Josh. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Also, I noticed, I'm gonna say it again when we're not reading emails, but I noticed in the English dub that everyone refers to Foo Fighters using like they them pronouns.
Oh.
So, which makes sense. So, they're not the best girl, they're the best organisms.
They're the best bro, gender neutral.
Yes.
Gender neutral bro.
Right, because we established that bro is gender neutral.
We don't know what Foo Fighters thinks of themselves and their body.
That
though.
Joe Bro.
We have no idea.
Joe bro is gender neutral, rather.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Bre.
Brex.
Maybe that works.
BRX.
Something. Yeah, I enjoyed this arc as well. It was like interesting seeing them squeeze this whole thing into an episode, but I think it moves pretty quickly. Anyway, as an arc, it's supposed to be that they're under a time limit, so I thought it fit in there pretty nicely. And while I was reading the manga chapters to look at the differences and refresh my memory, Jackie was watching the dub downstairs, and we were pretty much at the same pace. It was really weird. Like I'd hear them talking about just like FF, just throw the ball, and then I'm reading that pretty much exact same line. It was an interesting experience.
Freaky. I did think that the stand was. I didn't think of Darby Brothers, but it makes sense. It's like similar enough without being like, this is like a ripoff of the Darby Brothers. You know, it wasn't like too similar. I think.
I think like the most similar mechanic is the fact that if you're like, no, wait, but it's like the stand user's like, yeah, but you know in your heart what you did. And so the stand is going to collect. And it also made me think of the lock stand from part 4, where it's like, if you feel guilt in your heart, then the lock gets heavier in your chest and you can't do shit about it. I mean, those two.
Do you think Araki's a hardcore gambler?
Maybe he's betting on F1. I don't know.
I think gambling interests him.
Then again, Araki probably bets on like which tomato stalk will grow higher or whatever. That kind of thing.
He bets on like how many new beetles will be discovered this year or
New
something.
species of beetles?
Yes.
I wonder
Where
how
are the
many...
Beatles?
They found the fifth beetle finally, whose name is, I don't know. I don't remember who the fifth beetle is.
Tony.
Miles, who's the fifth beetle?
IRL?
Yeah.
They often said it was George Martin, their producer.
Okay.
George R. Martin of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, from Bayonne, New Jersey.
Is he from New Jersey?
Whoop, whoop.
That's right, baby.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
I was watching something and I don't know. I learned recently that somebody was from New Jersey and I don't remember who.
Was it Ezra Miller?
No, I don't know who that is.
Ezra Miller, who did a baffling Instagram video about how they're going to kill the KKK Beulahville chapter?
No.
Or that they should kill themselves?
What is this? Is this like the new main character of
Ezra
whatever
Miller is
this
the
is?
Flash in the DC universe
Okay.
and was Kevin in We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Okay.
And they just had this weird video where they were like, to the Beulahville chapter of the KKK. I don't need to recap the whole thing.
Okay.
But it was cryptic and weird, but I think their heart was in the right place. I don't like the KKK either, and I'll say it. I'm not afraid to say that. A lot of people, they don't want to say one way or another that they don't like. I don't like the KKK.
Mm-hmm.
They're bad. One of you should stop me.
Yeah.
Jackie, who else is from New Jersey?
I don't remember.
Danny DeVito. Oh,
it wasn't somebody like obvious. It was
Jason
just
Alexander.
like I was looking somebody up because I don't know, I was watching something or something, and I was like, oh, they're from New Jersey.
Yeah, I feel like the thing is, I feel like we talked.
They were
about
from
it.
were they from Newark? I don't think it was
Jason
Newark.
Alexander of Seinfeld. George is from Newark, the actor.
Oh yeah, well that's not who I was looking up.
All right. Well, whatever. What were we just talking about that brought up New Jersey?
Do you ever look at George R. Martin's blog?
No.
Oh no.
He like writes constantly, and if you're one of those people who's waiting for his next book, like, can you imagine how infuriating it must be to be like, stop writing about the Jets game
Yeah.
and write the book, you dummy.
You're doing the shut up and dribble thing though. You shouldn't do that.
That's true.
Plus he can like maybe cryptically find parallels that he wants to write from watching the Jets game, you know? So by writing, he's thinking, he's ruminating, and then that'll make it into the next Game of Thrones that I don't know enough about to make some kind of joke parallel.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't read any of those books. Sorry, George R.
Well, his name is pronounced George R. Martin. We had my parents over last week, and I kind of forgot about this. I think he told me, but like I remember finding the first Game of Thrones book at my parents' house, and it was my dad's. And I feel like I had told people that my dad reads a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, but he wasn't really into those books. But what he told me last week was that he was on this science fiction writers roundtable group, like on 90s internet, and he would just like talk to sci-fi writers that were on there. Because, of course, you know, they were nerds and they had the internet. And he would talk to George R. Martin, and he liked him. He read the books that were out at the time. And then he was just like, it just took him forever to come out with another book. So I just stopped reading it. So like, even though my dad, I don't think even caught up to what's out now, even back then, he was like, this shit just took too long. So, but yeah, I wish now that my dad back all the way back then was like, you need to speed it up because someday there's going to be a TV show and a lot of normies are going to be pissed too. So anyway, my dad's totally tight with George R. Martin. Let's move on.
That's what I've learned. So yes, the last book it's 10 years coming.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Is he actually working on it?
No, he's blogging about football.
We don't know. And then it's going to be like, if they don't adapt his book into a TV show, which of course they will, but it's going to be like me talking about Trigun and Trigun Maximum, where I'm going to be like, the TV show didn't know where to go and it fucked it up. You have to read it to really understand the good plot ending.
Well, it's not going to be a TV show. They already did the TV.
Yeah, but they'll figure out a way to do it again.
True.
What's up, Miles?
Doesn't it put in perspective how long we were waiting for this season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
I'm pretty sure it was 10 years that we waited. Feels that way.
It sure does. This email is from Kenny, The subject line is baseball beatdown. Hey, guy. I like that. That makes me laugh for some reason.
What did hey guy?
Yeah, just singular. Hey, guy. It was probably a typo, but it's funny. Before I start writing about the episode, I have something to confess. I laugh every week at Miles' stupid interruption joke at the beginning of every episode. That is what it should be called. I know it's coming. I know it's not that funny, but I smile every time like a total maniac I hear it. I really hope I never have to look somebody directly in the eyes while listening to the pod. Also, the Anchor ad read is hilarious. Thank you. But let's talk about the episode. What an incredibly memeable episode. First, after Father Poochie gets out the old slurping on cherries act. Oh, yeah. We haven't seen that one since part 3. What the hell is it with Araki and dudes slurping on cherries? And then there's FF weird-looking ball throw. I never got that manga original meme, by the way. Mark, explain. Other than that, the fight itself was awesome. Only Araki can make a game of catch that exciting and dramatic. That moment, Marilyn Manson, stupid name, by the way, ripped Hermes' liver out. Goosebumps. So many hot takes in this email. The end didn't really make that much sense, though. Didn't Marilyn Manson activate because the player knows that he cheated? At least that's what the emo chick said when Hermes got frickin' impaled. Jolie knew that she didn't cheat, and the debt collector still rummaged around in her bowels, but at least we got that Aura Aura beatdown. Overall, this is just a way better version of the Rock, Paper, Scissors episode from part 4, with little Darby Brothers gambling mixed in. Good ep. Okay, that's it for me. Have a nice week. Until next time, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks. Please don't give Miles too big a head. He's going to start asking for more than 10% of the Patreon profits. So, we don't want to do that.
You said it was 11.
You didn't even... that's very upsetting because I was hoping you'd actually say the number so that people would be like, oh, Mark's not a monster. But instead you gave another fake number. But yeah, it's totally the right percent, Miles. Don't worry.
Yeah, there's a lot to react to in this episode, I think. Mark, what is the manga original meme?
Let's see here.
The weird looking ball throw.
I don't know anything about the memes of this. I do know that reading the manga, it is very funny the way that she looks, the way FF looks when she or they are going to throw the ball. There's also, I was going to wait till we get to it, but I guess I'll talk about it now because maybe this is the meme, is in the manga, I don't know why, but Jolene says to FF, you look like a blank trying to throw the ball.
It was blank?
No, it's the Japanese word for the homophobic slur we have in English. Pretty much the equivalent of, the F word.
Oh.
But so in the weekly manga,
wait.
Yes.
Araki wrote that in his manga.
I don't know how similar the word okama, which is what the word is, which is sort of like a prettified version of the word for pot in Japanese.
Pot, like a teapot?
Like a cauldron or a pot.
Uh-huh.
I was reading this whole blog on it from this like Spanish website that seems to like have like an encyclopedia of these terms and makes like merch out of them or something. Apparently pot means like a gay man, pan means a lesbian, and
it's all just kitchenware.
Well, and apparently there's
instead of LGBTQ, instead of letters, it's like just kitchenware.
It's every piece of kitchenware. They don't say LGBTQ, they just say the kitchen. And there's a word that means, I've never heard of this phenomenon, but they said straight women that like to date gay guys. And the word is apparently for the rice that is stuck to the bottom of the pot when you make rice.
Okay.
I don't know, but here's the thing. I wanted to believe, like I wanted to find someone being like, oh, it's not as bad as that F word in English. But the fact of the matter is in the collected volumes, the home tankobon, they changed it to be in katakana gay. Still not a great sentiment, right? You look like a gay trying to throw that ball.
Yeah.
But it to me means like, yeah, there's something fucked up about how that was originally written, that they decided to substitute it with something maybe tamer. In
in Japanese, it's all Japanese, but it says gay?
Yeah, like the katakana ke and e, and then little
Ah.
dakuten on the ke, so it's gay.
Interesting.
Maybe that's a meme, just this weird thing that it's like two female characters yelling at arguably another female or non-binary character
Mhm.
that you look like a male homosexual. I don't know. It's
It's a weird insult for a woman or
for anybody. This whole thing is just really weird.
I mean, it isn't like boys will call each other like sissy, you know what I mean? Like if you're too feminine or whatever. Like oh, you're a girl, because being a girl if you're a boy is bad. But it's a weird insult to give a girl or someone who is like presenting like more feminine. It's kind of weird.
I don't get it. It's I maybe there's supposed to be a joke about it, the fact that they're all women, you know, that it's like, look how masculine and tough Jolene is, that she's calling other people that. I don't know.
Okay.
I shouldn't even speculate because it's like multiple cultures that I'm not a part of here that I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, so if there's any sort of jokes about what Jolene calls FF in this in this manga, it's not in the anime.
Why are we talking about this? Oh, is this the meme thing? Okay, sorry.
What's someone yelling, "You're a pot"?
Well, yeah. I mean, the homophobic slur we have in English also doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It means a cigarette or a burning bundle of sticks. Like everything comes from something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's because pot also at some point it's like a hole. It's like a vagina. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So anyway.
Is that true, or did you just make that up? Is that your own?
That's what I read. I don't know.
It's a big, shallow opening.
It's, yeah. So I guess it's like making fun of bussies. I don't know. Who knows?
And what are straight men in the kitchen? Is there a kitchenware item for straight men?
I don't know. Meat? Maybe? Is it meat?
Or like a knife or something.
A knife? Oh, God.
Just something phallic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A whisk?
A rolling pin.
A rolling pin.
A rolling pin.
Yeah. Anyway, this is terrible. Listeners, that conversation went on for an hour, and I cut it down to whatever its final length is. That was...
No, you left it all in.
It's now Monday. Thanks for writing. Kenny, I hope that is... you know what? It doesn't matter. I was going to talk about that anyway, so don't feel bad if you're like, no, they just drew FF standing funny. Because, yeah, in the manga...
I almost forgot to interrupt you today, but then I didn't.
You started by interrupting.
Yeah. I didn't realize you were starting right away.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of delay. I think last week the same thing happened. You didn't know that I was going to start. It's because we don't have the camera up, so you can't see me like pause and like wind up to it. Anyway, this last email is from Chad, and the subject line is good, which we can probably assume is supposed to be pronounced good. Aloha JJBPod Ohana. Leave it to Araki to turn a simple game of catch into a life or death situation, right? There weren't any direct JoJo connections that I could find among the named and unnamed characters from episode 9. That being said, I do want to point out that FF's would-be bully does share their voice with a goofy-looking but surprisingly powerful martial artist hobgoblin named Gobta from the very entertaining isekai anime That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I'm not sure what the immediate plan is if there aren't new JoJo episodes waiting once you all watch episode 12, but I highly recommend That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, or Tensura for short. Lastly, have any of you seen or heard of the book JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Manga's Refined Oddball by Federico Anzalone? Here's a link, and it's an Amazon link to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Manga's Refined Oddball. I only found out about this when a friend posted a picture of it at his comic book shop. I've never heard of the author, so I'm hesitant to buy it. I'm hesitant to just buy it, but I wanted to share it with you hosts and the listeners. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Mahalo, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, thanks. Someone in the JoJo's Bizarre Podcast fan wiki also linked to this book.
Fan wiki? You said JoJo. Do we have a fan wiki?
We don't. No. Let me try that again.
No, leave it. It's funny.
All right, fine. Well, you got to see my face as it broke in shock that I said the complete wrong thing and didn't notice. In the Discord that some fans started for this podcast, someone linked to this book. And what I'm most interested in is the fact that the foreword is by Takashi Miike, who did the live action Part 4 JoJo movie and a ton of other movies. Some good, some bad, some disgusting, like Ichi the Killer and Audition, but just a very prolific filmmaker. And I'd love to hear his thoughts on JoJo. Also, the fact that I believe this book first came out in Italian is worth noting because I believe in Italy they have all of JoJo translated already. JoJo and I forget. I feel like I read it in a Twitter convo that Bloof had, where it's like 2 countries, Italy. I don't know if it's Spain. I don't know what it is, but they're caught up on JoJo. Whereas I don't know where we are in America. Maybe Part 5 still. Anyway, the point is, I would trust an Italian man if he was like, I know a lot about JoJo. I'd be like, you sure could. You could. It's all out there in Italian for you.
You could. There's probably fanlations.
Yeah,
or whatever.
That's what I've read.
Okay.
Anyway, those were emails sent to JoJo's Bizarre Pod at gmail.com. You too can be on this podcast if you have basic like editing, self-editing skills, or if you don't. You'll probably still be on here. We might make fun of you, but feel free to write to us.
We won't make fun of them.
Well, we make fun of people's typos and stuff.
We do make fun of you.
But usually when the typos are funny and they form other funny words.
We're not like, this person's an idiot. We don't do that.
We did have someone who wrote in and like multiple emails in a row were just like run-on sentences that felt like I gotta write to them, and just like didn't even take a second pass to be like, this could be broken up. We also should tell you that you can support this podcast by going to patreon.com/JJBPod, because who doesn't have a Patreon these days? That's how 90% of the world gets paid, I think, is by having a Patreon where they draw shit or say things. And you can pledge your support to us for $1 a month or $3 a month. Both get you access to the Patreon feed that has some extra content, Miles' weekly cultural reference newsletter, and if you pledge at the $3 level, we will also say thank you out loud on the podcast, like so. I'm just going to say thank you so much from the bottom of my not fermented heart.
From the bottom of my broken heart. That's a Britney Spears song.
Okay, good for Britney. Thank you to Ken Barron, Kasoon, Caleb, Jumbo, Katie, Bloof, Dylan, Nocturnal, Kenny, Caden, Nick, Austin, Tim, Tyler, Martin, Michael, Christian, and Chad. You're all the best kind of alcohol in our hearts and livers. Maybe.
Good job.
Look, I never know how to dismount from that segment. I said thank you and I meant it.
I think you did a great job, Mark.
Thank you. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Sincerely. I'm going to put your name on this list. Also, I'm thinking about it. The way you sang From the Bottom of My Broken Heart was the exact same melody as Billy Joel's Well, We're Living Here in Allentown.
It's very similar.
Huh.
And the thousand will understand.
Really good.
And then it's like, oof, that song's good. I feel like Billy Joel is like, I have lots of mixed feelings about.
He's hit or miss.
I'm like, he's too fucking corny. And then I'm like, this song goes fucking hard.
Billy Joel's not the one.
There's some songs I fucking love, and there's some songs I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, definitely. Now we take a step back mentally into the year 2000, when these manga chapters first came out, that have been turned into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone episode. What's wrong with my brain?
What is wrong with you're just whirling all the words together?
I think a furry robot pulled my brain out because I can't catch.
No.
Look, the chapters...
Was the robot furry?
So,
yes, it was. Not as much in the anime, but in the manga you can see details of fur. It looks like a robot that put on some fashionable fur. Hopefully faux fur. We can all hope.
Well, of course, yeah, meat is murder.
Do you have any fun facts about this episode or any Araki ending tidbits?
Oh, I do have to get... we did finish another volume of the home collected bits, so I have to find his note. Maybe he'll talk about his usage of homophobic slurs in there. He's like,
don't-
I just learned this word. Do you know this word?
Can you imagine if he was like, well, I just hate gay people?
I would be so upset. I'd be so sad, and I'd also be like, "What's with you? What are you? You're weird."
Do you know what kind of manga you're writing?
So yeah, exactly. What's up, Jackie?
I'm just thinking about like because he wrote it when everybody was homophobic, right?
I mean,
I
you could
guess.
argue that's true now. I mean, it was 2000. It's not like this was.
That's not when he wrote it. He wrote it in
Yes.
2000?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay. All right. Well,
It came out in like August and September of 2000.
Araki's canceled. We have to find something else to make a podcast about.
I mean, he's done a few things that are ridiculous in the course of writing.
He thinks
JoJo.
Nazis are heroes.
Yeah,
True. That's
he
true.
thinks they're bros, even though they have slightly different opinions.
That's true. He's been. We should have canceled him a long time ago. It's too late now. We're in too deep.
Here's Araki's comment on the stand Marilyn Manson. Before I forget, it wears a welding mask. It's a creepy debt collector, so I hid its facial expression. Mirashon's hairstyle is nice too, isn't it? I thought it would be creepy to have someone spying on others through their hair.
Yeah.
So that's apparently why Mirashon's hair connects at the bottom of her chin.
Their hair doesn't make any sense. How do they do that? How do you have hair that connects?
It's like
like that.
wallpaper glue.
No, but there's no like seam. Like it's just it goes all the way. I think
They cut out the detail.
I
when
think
they draw it.
I think they grew their just the one piece of hair. They grew it like extra long so that they can like take the tip of it and put it like on the other side of like hair
That's
plugs.
where the seam is.
Like hair plugs, and they just put it inside their head.
But then
so
just
that
have to
way
keep doing it. Just grow the front really long and then loop it around.
They just have to do it once with the one piece. You just plug it in.
Oh, but when you say piece, you don't mean one strand of hair.
Oh, right. No, I mean like that the strip of hair
Yes,
that they have. Yes.
that's the measurement of hair, is strips.
And then they hair plug it in to their
Yeah.
head.
It's like a USB.
Yes.
What?
Why is the name Mirashone? What is that?
So Mirashon's name is
It sounds like Michonne from The Walking Dead.
nope. It's from Italian fashion designer Mila Shun. And I mean, her real name is some long Italian ass name. I don't know why she took the name Mila Shun, but Shun is German for like nice
Okay.
or beautiful. But apparently you can say it like good, which is a important line in this chapter and in JoJo in general. Just when someone wants to make a bet
Good.
and you go good, it means it's locked in. You just fucked up. Basically is what it means. You just made a stupid bet and I'm going to hurt you.
Good. And then there's like the evil like
Rumbling.
Coco.
Yeah, I'll look up Araki's author comment, but if you want to talk about the episode, please.
So it starts with a girl confessing to Father Pucci, he's the sluttiest priest. Why is he a slutty priest? He has like cherries in his mouth and he's like eating them and tying little knots in the stems and then talking about it. Why is he so sexy and like
I would argue most priests are secretly freaks, I think.
Like-
I think most priests are just repressed freakos.
but that's like a flirty slutty thing that like
It's past flirt.
yeah.
It's weird.
It's like Araki really wanted us to know that this man can do things with his tongue. Like his tongue is very like I don't know. It's another talent of his. We needed to know that.
Yeah.
So that's good, I guess.
I want to believe that
That's good
Araki
to
is
know.
just like innocent and was like, I grew some cherries in the garden today. Have you ever tried to tie a knot with cherries? And you're
No.
like, are you aware how weird this is?
No, I think
And he's not.
he like passed by a church and saw a really hot priest and was like, I'm gonna write this guy into my manga.
I'm gonna give him circuit board patterned like hair.
Yeah, he looks like a sexy android priest. I don't know. But anyway, there's the cherry thing. There's a girl who's like, oh, right, she's not confessing. It sounded like she was, is she confessing? I guess she is confessing.
I don't know because he isn't listening clearly.
It sounded to me, yeah, that's true. It sounded to me like she was confessing, but she also, I guess, wanted him to help her get parole. So maybe it's a little bit of both. Like she's been seeing a priest in order to get better, and she was hoping that he would help her. Is parole the same as like an early, like a shorter sentence or whatever, or a commuted sentence? I don't know.
I think in this case it's the same thing. The fact you get let out early, but you're paroled.
Yeah.
So you're still like, you have to
probation.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's saying some stuff, and Poochie is like, parrots can learn to read and appreciate arts and stuff. He's like, you can teach animals to be like people. So is there even a difference at all between people and animals? And then he starts talking about the cherry. He's like, the challenge comes from completing the first cherry. I guess like tying the knot in the first cherry stem. And then which tooth do you use to bite the second one? And he's like, it's very important. Or I don't know. So I guess he's been practicing on these cherries for a long time.
It's his whole life.
Are priests allowed to make out with people?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure chastity doesn't just mean like, we could do everything up to penetration. It's fine. It's just groping people in the confession booth. Like, it's fine. God's fine with it. It's fine.
Anyway. And then I wrote down here, why is Father Poochie a slutty priest? He's good with his tongue. And then, and then he like he's like, oh yeah, you've been good. I'm going to recommend you for a parole. And she's like, oh, you mean it? And then he bashes her head against something.
The corner of the table. It's pretty brutal.
Ouch. He didn't need to do that. And then
you couldn't do that in our house because we've toddler-proofed our coffee table.
Oh, what'd you put on it?
You put some like soft stuff on, like rubber, I think.
Soft bumpies.
So if somebody bashed your head against the table, what would happen?
Hopefully nothing.
Okay. Great. Good job. Good parenting.
Thank you.
So and then he gives her a stand. He puts a CD in her head.
Yeah.
And he's talking to himself about how he can't let Jotaro's stand leave this prison. And then we get the intro music. Any thoughts about any of that from anyone here?
I like Poochie's voice, which is weird because I don't like his Stan's voice.
It's just like a little bit slowed down, a little bit affected. And I guess he's doing a different thing.
Goofy as a stand, but he sounds cool as a priest.
I am glad that the villain is revealed so that we get these fun scenes of seeing him choose who gets to be the bad guys and justifying why he made like a underling. Mm-hmm. I enjoy this, and I feel like we don't always get that in JoJo, but it is fun when we do. And I also like in Stardust Crusaders, like when we see Dio trying to seduce people, like Abdul runs away from his hair flesh buds, and Whole Horse in the library trying to catch Dio reading the Quran or whatever that they changed. But so yeah, it's really fun for me to just see Poochie being like, I don't know, maybe you'll be useful. It's early into this arc, so I can put in this silly stand. But I really do. I am sitting there like, where did those CDs come from? Who was the scumbag that had this already?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Jackie, I don't know if you mentioned this. Did you mention the fact that he bashed her head because he was taking back his crucifix that she stole?
Oh no, I missed that.
Oh yeah. She like somehow like pickpocketed him and took his crucifix.
Oh.
So he bashes her head in and then pulls out of her back pocket the crucifix, and he's like, I think I can put those like tricky hands of yours to use and give you a stand. Although the stand isn't quite stealing, it's actually supposed to be kind of an honest stand if you think about it.
Well, but gambling was apparently that's what she did in life. That's why she's in prison, is something about gambling.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah, I don't know why the line was about her hands, or unless her hands gambled maybe, and that's why she stole, because she wanted to sell the gold cross probably. So now that you know that, do you think it made sense for him to bash her head into the table?
Yeah, totally.
Because she was a thief?
She had it coming.
I still don't think he needed to do that, but it does make more sense.
In the manga, it definitely looks worse. It's definitely more painful, but
Aww.
It is funny in the TV that it looks like she's like almost about to move in that direction anyway, and then he just like Bruce Lee flow like water, just like continues the motion for her. It's very silly, but painful looking. Damn. And then I think, do they start the episode with this? Because in the manga, it starts with them.
It starts with that, and then we get the intro music, the intro.
And then we
opening.
see them on the the basketball athletic square.
Yeah, yeah.
The blacktop.
Yeah.
Or recreational time.
Out in the paint. Yeah, this episode is fun and ridiculous, which is a good way to sort of sell JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Should I keep reading through what happens?
Yeah.
Okay. So we found out they talk a bit about like having Jotaro stand and how FF Foo Fighters is hiding the stand. They don't have a plan yet. Like Jolene doesn't have a plan yet for smuggling the stand CD over to where Jotaro is and where the Speedwagon Foundation is. So they're just kind of like waiting it out. Meanwhile, FF Foo Fighters is drinking out of a cup that says Larg.
Yeah, is it supposed to say large? It doesn't have an E, so...
No, I think it's Larg.
Notice that.
It definitely does not have an E.
This is a mystery. No one was able to tell me what the fuck it said on Lightning McQueen's shirt either. I don't know.
I don't know where she got this because at first I was like, this looks branded. It looks like she went to like a McDonald's or something.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, like a 7-Eleven, but they're at the prison.
Maybe a synonym for gulp is larg.
Yeah.
It's just fallen out of favor.
It's one of those fake Starbucks sizes. I think it's bigger than venti.
Yeah, it's fake, like an Italian word.
Yeah. So FF is drinking out of this cup, drinking their water, and then some other girl comes and starts drinking out of the water that was just on the bench. They just left the water on the bench by itself. But then FF gets mad and starts yelling, "Hey, that's my water." Blah 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 blah. So they're very sensitive and protective of their water.
And the gals are like, "Don't make a scene, FF. Don't. Like, I'll get you more water."
Yeah.
But FF splits her finger open.
Yeah, and she like they shoot out some goop.
Yeah. Some extra.
So that's
goop.
how they're deploying the stand now, shooting some goop. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, shooting goop out of their fingers into the drinker thief's mouth, which then causes their mouth to expand. Like she just suddenly filled it with a bunch of liquid.
Okay, because I didn't understand what was happening there.
And they definitely highlight the fact that it's so big that her cheeks bleed a little bit.
Yeah, and she throws up rainbows.
And then she, kind of like spits out all of the I don't think she pukes. I think she just spits out all of the fluid into the larg cup. And in the manga, the character says, like, my jaw is dislocated.
And Foo Fighters still drinks out of it.
Yeah, Foo Fighters makes a comment like, oh, there's even more in here now, and drinks it. And Jolene and Hermes are like, blah, blah, blah. Gross.
That also didn't seem like enough water for Foo Fighters. I thought that they would need more. You know, it is a large cup.
It's a larg.
It's a larg cup, but
it's a larg
I thought
cup.
that they would need more water throughout the day, you know?
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe they just have water hidden all over the place, or they only need a little bit to replenish.
Maybe.
Certainly after shooting the goo, maybe they need, maybe they should well, I guess they're getting it back from the cup now. It's disgusting.
Yeah. So anyway, then they all start playing catch, Jolene and Foo Fighters. And Mirashone comes by. Like, they start playing catch, and they're like, they get to like 80 something
87
throws without dropping it. So Foo Fighters is learning how to play, like not learning how to play, but like learning how to catch and like getting good at it.
Yeah, it's weird because in the Japanese version, you can hear them calling it, I think, catch ball. And when FF first says that, I thought that was like, oh, to show that they're like a weirdo alien person. But then I think they continue to call it catch ball in Japanese.
Maybe that's what it's called in Japanese.
So yeah, I think that is the case. I'm not sure if exactly it was catch ball, but it was something like that. In the manga, Hermes makes the comment of like, you probably only know what a ball is because of Etro's memories or something. It's just like this weird, like, you've only heard of a ball. Of course you haven't thrown one. And then there's this awkward, very elbowy pose as FF goes to throw the ball. And I have to say that they actually do really well for their first effort. It actually goes to Jolene, and they just throw it back and forth for a while. And Jolene does have a catcher's mitt, or not she has a baseball glove. And I have to stop saying in the manga, But
Yeah.
the way they come across Mirashon in the manga is that FF throws a ball a little bit crazy. It almost hits Mirashon, but Jolene like catches it right behind her head.
Mm.
And then that's when they talk.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mirashon comes in when Foo Fighters is like, oh, we've caught it 80 something times, whatever. Then Mirashon is like, I bet you can't make it to 100.
In that voice.
No, she actually has like a sexy voice. She's like, I bet you can't make it to 100 or whatever. That was my sexy voice.
You sound tired. Okay.
And let's see. Yeah, this is where I wrote down. This is where I noticed in my notes that they're using they them pronouns for FF. And then yeah, and so she tries to bet them $100 to get to 100, and Jolene's like, I don't trust this one, and Aramis is like, think of what we could do with all that money. We should take it. Come on. So
because she's like, you need to get the discs back out somewhere, and your rights are restricted right now because you're in trouble with, the jail. And
it would help them.
I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
Even though it's weird, she later says in the comic book, she says that she has thousands of dollars because it's Lightning McQueen's money, technically. Lightning McThunder? What the fuck is it Lightning McQueen?
Which one's McQueen?
The suicide
Isn't Lightning
guy.
McQueen from Cars?
Yeah.
It is McQueen. No, is it McQueen? Yeah, it's McQueen.
It is McQueen.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't know if it's Lightning. I don't think it's Lightning.
It's Thunder. It's Thunder because he's Sander. Sander or Thunder.
Oh, Sunda.
Yeah, Thunder McLightning, very, very frightening. That he has a bunch of money or something. So even though it's not technically Hermes's, it is weird that she's like, we need money and I don't have much. So anyways, that it's, she doesn't just want to justify the bet because she's like, think about all the cash we could buy shit with.
Yeah.
She has like a decent reason for it.
I just didn't write down all the reasons, but yeah.
Yeah.
Aramis had reasons. And so then they kind of start to like establish some rules. They're like, Mirashon can't get too close to them or yell, I guess. And
yeah, it's funny.
It was something about like you just can't make any loud noises.
That would be the dumbest villain if she has no stand, but they just go to throw the ball and she's like, ah.
I would just be like, if there's any interference, it doesn't count. Which is what they should have done, because that covers like some asshole coming in and catching it, This
is why insurance agreements are like pages long of shit you're not going to read.
Yeah.
Because it's all the ways they can get out of it.
Yeah. So she can't get too close to them or yell, and Mirashon is like, fine, but you have to throw within a certain amount of time. I think it was 10 seconds. And you
can't drop it, right?
They can't drop it. Oh, and they need to be a certain distance apart from each other as well.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a timer, and they need to be a certain distance apart in order to throw. And then they start catching. They're like, okay, cool, bet. And then they start throwing, and then Mirashon sits on the bench next to Foo Fighters' water.
Real fast.
Yes.
I just want to say that well, I guess I already said it, but just the good thing is like, I don't know if it's a throwback to Darby, but the Darby brothers do say good, and I feel like we've also seen that in maybe part 5. I don't know if that's like a thing in Japanese culture of saying good when the bet is made, but yeah.
Menacing. And so Mirashon sits next to
Larg.
The Larg cup, and Foo Fighters is like, get away from my water. She starts freaking out, and then Aramis takes the water. She's like, I got the water. Like, so she's holding the water so everybody calms down. But Foo Fighters is like still mad, so they throw the ball at Jolene like all crazy. And I think maybe they were trying to throw it at Mirashon or something. I don't know, but they throw the ball, and it's I don't know. It's like not right. It's not right at Jolene. So Jolene had to like dive for it, but she caught it.
Does she do the thing where does she pull the fence closer to her so it hits the ball and she catches it?
I did not I don't think so.
There's
think so.
there's things in the manga they didn't do here where like a basketball almost hits her, or like someone does a bad pass, and then she goes to catch the ball and ends up using Stone Free to like pull a bench towards her, and it like hits her in the face, but she catches the ball, and there's some person on the basketball court who's like, "Hey, that wasn't my fault." I don't know.
How long is this in the manga? Is it the whole thing?
I mean, it's chapters 34 through 39, so it's like I think it's 6 chapters of this whole catch game. I think this would be very fun in a video game. If there was like a Stone Ocean video game, and you have to like walk around and like catch up to Mirashone, but also every 5 seconds or whatever, you have to throw a ball and be in the line of sight. It seems like it'd be a big pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun to have to like multitask.
Yeah. It seems like it'd be hard. It'd be one of those games where it's like you have to press X at this exact moment to catch the ball.
Well, it'd be fun
You
because
know?
they do all these failure animations where the baseball could hit a wall or like a prison worker in the face, and then you just get like a different organ taken out by the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be like, "You suck. Press start." And you'd be like, "Okay."
Anyway, so they get to 100 throws, and they're like, "All right, pay up." And so Mirashone is like, actually, first they're like, actually, it should be instead of 100, because Mirashone's like, here's the 100, and they're like, oh, it should be 200, because the bet was also made with FF, and I guess it was.
Yeah, I don't
this
have
time.
vivid memories of that happening either, but I guess that FF
guess.
also agreed to the bet,
Yeah.
and so Mirashone, for some dumb reason, is like, okay, that's 2 bets going on.
Yeah, so $200 is paid out, and then Mirashone is like, I bet you $1,000 that you can't do it again. So another 100 times. Same rules, and Jolene is like, I don't trust this one. I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't have that kind of money. And Hermes is like, I'll do it. So Hermes goes in on the bet, and she's the one throwing the ball to Foo Fighters. And then Hermes puts a double mint gum in her mouth. But it just says
double
mint.
mint?
It says mint, and it was the branding.
Single mint gum.
It was the branding of double mint gum, but it just said mint on it. But I think I wrote down it was a double mint gum.
I think that was a real company that their brand was just one mint,
single mint
and they
gum.
lost out to double mint because who doesn't want double?
Yeah.
What a shame.
And so they're playing, they're catching, they're throwing, which, by the way, I feel like is super impressive. Because when was the last time you all played catch, or do you remember playing catch? It's really hard to catch a lot of times in a row.
Probably before 9/11.
Damn.
The last time I played catch.
But it's really hard to catch and throw many times in a row. You know, somebody like gets tired and they I don't know, they fuck up and they let it go too early or something, or too late, and it's like too high or too low or something, and then you have to dive for it. It's really hard.
That's interesting.
Did you
So it's
stop
impressive.
because of 9/11?
I was just like, I don't like things flying through the air anymore at all. Who knows what could happen? No, I think
that
that like
makes
after I quit like Little League Baseball, I was like, I'm not doing this shit anymore.
Mm.
Why would you throw a ball? You throw shit to transport it. Don't give it back to
That's
me.
true.
You should get a dog. You throw it. I don't catch. You bring it back. And then I have to fucking fight with the dog to drop it. Why do they do that?
That's part of the fun for them, is just fighting you for
Yeah,
the
I guess
thing in
that's
their
true.
mouth.
I hate that. Anyway,
And
moving on.
because they're like, they know that you don't really want this stick or this like slobbery ball. They know you don't want it.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're like, it's mine now. So yeah, let's see. So they're playing, they're catching, everything's good. And then a guard comes by and he's like, all right, everybody go inside.
Well, they grab Jolene or Hermes' arm.
yeah, the guard tries to stop them and like grabs the arm, and it's making it very hard for them to continue catching and throwing.
Is this
and
guard
Jolene's-
dressed as a clown?
Was he?
I didn't catch that, but they
Well,
had
he
silly...
has like clown makeup on or something. I don't know. Something weird.
Oh
about
yeah,
this
yeah,
guy.
yeah. This guy looks like a fucking or like the Undertaker wrestler. I don't know which wrestler it is, but like, didn't one of the wrestlers have this where it was like a dark version of like the fucking Pierrot kind of clown makeup,
I don't know.
like a little
I
fucking
don't know.
bat wings on over their eyes. Anyway.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, so the guard tries to stop them, and he's like, everybody go inside. And Jolene's like, okay, we're calling this bet off because we got to go inside. And then Michonne is like, well, let's say a meteor falls on this game. And you'll say, oh, we couldn't do anything about it. We're going to have to stop the game. But you're saying that to convince yourself that, you know, there was nothing you could do and that it's not your fault. And it's just, you know, we have to call off the bet. But actually, you know, you threw slower. If you threw faster, then this wouldn't have interrupted the game. So really, it's your you gotta, I don't know what her logic was there. It didn't really make sense to me, but it's just like, you can't blame things on other things, even if you didn't know that they were going to happen.
I mean, it's true that their bet was that we'll play catch with 100 back and forths, and we'll throw the ball within 10 seconds, and we'll stand this far apart. You know, they could have done it faster, or they should have thought, like, oh, we're going to have to go inside soon. It's going to be very hard to play.
What happened to the freedom of this prison? Like, they should let them be free to just play catch all night.
It's scheduled freedom. You know.
I thought it was like you can go anywhere at any time.
It's freedom within a very tiny window of liberty.
Okay.
You know, you're free to move from here or there, and I'm pointing from one end of a cell to the other end.
They should have been able to pause the game. They should be like, we'll pause this game and we'll continue tomorrow.
Yeah. But I think it's fair for Michonne to be like, no, we had a bet going and it's too fucking bad. And then she could have been like, by the way, also, I'm a stand user. So it's important you follow the rules.
Mm. Yeah. So she was like, you know, in your heart, you know that you were throwing slow or whatever. So I don't know. Aramis is like, all right, fine, you're confusing. Well, I don't know. If it were me, I'd be like, all right, you're confusing me, so I'm just going to pay off this guard. So Aramis pays off the guard $100, and the guard is like, okay, cool. But then he comes back and he's like, actually, $100, that's only enough for the ball. And then he takes the glove away from Aramis. I guess he takes the glove away from Foo Fighters too? Does he?
I don't know. I don't know if Foo Fighters had a glove.
But because he right, he took the glove away. So but while she was trying to catch, and she like the ball kind of slipped out of her hand, because it's very hard to bare hand catch a baseball, and it slips out of her hand. But she put a sticker on it, so she took the sticker off, and then it like
was a sticker on her gum actually.
On her
single mint gum.
On her gum. Okay.
She like duped the gum so that the gum is stuck to the ball.
Okay, got
It'll
it.
fly
That
back
makes sense.
towards her. And
right. And she caught it, and then but because of she used her stand. Which, watching it the first time, I thought it was cheating. Watching it the second time, I don't think that's cheating. She caught the ball. No one said you couldn't use your stand to catch the ball.
It's true. I kind of agree with you.
The ball was in her hand. It didn't touch the ground.
But the point is so she got punished because she felt inside that she was cheating.
Right. Michonne is like, I can't prove it, but on the inside, Aramis knows what happened, and she broke one of the rules. Which rule did she break? I don't know.
Just that you can't drop the ball, I guess.
Well, anyway, then this stand that calls itself Marilyn Manson.
Do you guys know what that's a reference to?
Marilyn Monroe?
Well, that's what Marilyn Manson's name is a
Marilyn
reference
Monroe and Charles Manson.
That's correct. Did you know that in the original Marilyn Manson band, Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids, all band members had the first name of a like vintage model and the last name of a killer or serial murderer?
I did know that.
Twiggy Ramirez. Marilyn Manson. I'm blanking on other ones, but it's fine.
That's cool.
Cool.
Another one's gonna like pop into my head. Probably a Dahmer or something. Anyway.
And then Marilyn Manson is a debt collector stand. It will do whatever it needs to do. It basically knows when when you believe but when you believe that you're cheating, you could be like a weirdo who like, not a weirdo, but like you can be like, well, it's not cheating because I don't believe in those rules or something like that. Or you can or be like, well, it's not cheating because I don't know. You know what I mean? Even though it is cheating, but you're just like, well, no, I'm dumb and I don't know how to follow the rules.
In the comic book, this actually is mirrored later on. They kind of changed the ending in the anime for a reason I kind of understand. But in the manga, this specific issue comes back later. The way you're talking about it.
Do you think George Costanza would be not susceptible to this? Because his philosophy is it's not alive, you believe it?
Yeah, and he never thinks that he's wrong about anything.
Know,
he always thinks that he's right.
He might say that, but then I can just picture him being like, Jerry, no! And like his liver's being taken out by the stand. And he's just being like, oh! Jerry's like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I can see this happening to him because I think that George would feel bad. He's felt bad before.
No, but he always thinks that he's right.
Yeah, but he still has a guilt complex because he's quote unquote Catholic. Is he? The most. Well, I have to assume that his character is supposed to be because it's like an Italian last name.
Yeah,
but he's like the most Jewish.
He's not Jewish. Like they don't establish him as a Jewish character, even though he seems like a Jewish character.
And his parents seem very Jewish.
And his parents also seem very Jewish.
And they're all played by Jewish actors.
Yeah. But they're Costanza. They're the Costanzas.
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're like Italian Catholic.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. You know how there's like a bunch of spin-off fan fiction for JoJo's that's like kind of official? I'm writing a Seinfeld book that no one has signed off on, but I'm pretty sure they'll let me do it.
Okay. So Seinfeld it's like JoJo's Seinfeld or something?
Yeah, it's like the George Joe Star of Seinfeld, where everything is fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Anyway, so Marilyn Manson takes the money out of Hermes's boobs and takes her liver.
Yeah, this was hard to watch. Because you cut on her tit.
Yeah, and it sticks a hook right through her stomach to take the liver out, all the way through to take the liver out.
Araki loves turning people into donuts. Kakyo and Jolene kind of gets donutted, but she really is made out of webs.
You need the liver, right? You
need that.
Yeah. They couldn't take something that you don't need. There's some organ that people sell when they need money. No, there's one that the people sell when they need money. I forget which one it is.
A
kidney, yeah.
Because you're bilateral symmetrical with those.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had two livers, alcoholism would be less of a problem, right?
I don't know.
That's true.
Because maybe you'd have more filtering, and if you got cirrhosis, it would be in one liver. Anyway, this is going in my book.
Okay, so they try to attack the stand, and you can't really attack it, and it's kind of like, I'm a manifestation of Hermes's like guilt or something, or heart, or I don't know, losing spirit. And whatever, you can't attack it. And so then Jolene is like, wait, we'll catch it 1,000 times. And if we succeed, you'll have to give it back. You'll have to give everything back. Everything that you took from Hermes, you have to give it back. And you're going to leave us alone. And that was like, I guess that's where we're like, okay, that's the plan. Like she wants to take the disc, the Jotaro stand.
You know, it's weird because in the first... and maybe second. Yeah, in both Darby Brothers fights, they literally wager their soul, which in some ways feels more like impactful and scary.
It's like that's like the deal with the devil thing, I think.
But in Stone Ocean, it's like everyone's just fucking losing CDs and switching CDs around, which is basically your soul.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that Araki pivoted to the more graphic, nasty, and physical, just organ black market stuff.
Yeah.
In the manga, too, the liver's very detailed.
If you have money or if you have something valuable, it'll take that. But like if not, then we're going to take your liver.
Yeah, it's just it's quite graphic, and I feel like I could feel the pain of just like just the side of your stomach. Someone just ripped out your liver.
I like that it perfectly heals you though when it gives everything back.
Yeah, I mean it's got to undo any damage it did.
It's very nice. So Jolene wants to make a bet, and it's good. Then they accept it, and then Jolene and Foo Fighters are playing catch again. And, Hermes is like, you can't do that, Jolene. She's going to take your dad's stand and whatever. And Jolene is like, I can't let you die for me. And they try to do 1,000 throws in a row without dropping it, which is insane. I feel like it's very difficult to do that if you're not like a pro.
You have to have a huge attention
just
span too.
Take a long time. Yeah, you have to like really concentrate.
Yeah, and you can't fuck up. You can't just like your hands can't get like sweaty and then you let it go too early, because then it just is bad. And so yeah, so they can't attack the stand, but they can attack Mirashone. So that's what they they kind of go after her when she goes back into the prison. So they go after her while still playing catch. And Mirashone turns off the lights while they're playing catch because they're looking for her, I guess. And she turns off the lights.
In the middle of a throw, I think.
In the middle of a throw. And it like hits Foo Fighters' face.
Yeah.
And then like goop comes out of their eyes and I think helps them
they catch it with the goop. But like it's not cheating because like that is Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And also Foo Fighters probably doesn't know what cheating is anyway. But I think it's just supposed to be like, well, that's part of their bodies. They can just goop catch.
Yeah. And so then Foo Fighters shoots out of her finger some more goo in the general direction of Michonne because they heard, not Michonne, sorry, that's Walking Dead.
Mirashone.
Because they heard her say something.
And you just hear a scream too, like when she fires into the darkness. She hit her.
And then they're playing catch still and they're running after Mirashone.
And then she follows her into a room, is what she calls it at first. Not realizing that she chased her onto an elevator car.
First they're yelling like, yes, but first Jolene is yelling like, oh, who gave you this power? It was Pale Snake, right? It was White Snake, right? And she's like, I don't know who that is. All I wanted was to go on parole. And then that's when they find out that they're in the elevator and she closes the elevator door.
Yeah, because she hides the panel with her body at first.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like, I guess if you're really chasing someone and focusing on them, you won't notice. And I don't know if it happened in the anime episode, but here in the mangas where Jolene is like, look, like we're not going to make it to 1,000 throws or we don't have to. We just have to catch Mirashone and beat the shit out of her and then her stand will turn off. But then, she finds out that she's in an elevator when Mirashone hits the down button. And
I thought it was up.
Well, whatever.
I think it's up because
we know it's not left or right.
It's up because then Foo Fighters climbs up the stairs to catch up to Jolene.
Okay, and then you guys have to take over with the rest of this because I don't remember what the anime does here.
So she closes the elevator between them, and they're still playing catch, and Mirashone is counting down because they have 10 seconds in between, so it's like 8, 7, 6, and Jolene like kind of pulls open the elevator door and is able to throw or catch. I don't remember which one is which at this point, but they're able to get another throw in through to Foo Fighters. That's still at the level, and the elevator's going up, and then Foo Fighters runs up the stairs to catch it again, and they're like waiting in front of where the elevator is going to be, and the elevator gets there and it opens the doors and Foo Fighters is ready to catch, and Jolene throws it, but then a security guard. I think the
clown one, same guy.
Security guard interferes and catches the ball, and then he starts to walk away, and it's like clear that like he was paid or something to interfere by Mirashone. So that is cheating, but I guess it doesn't count, which is stupid because that shit should count as cheating. They should have just been like, if you cheat Mirashone, then we get the money. If you're caught cheating, if you're caught trying to manipulate it. They fucked up and they didn't set the rules properly. But anyway, at that point, when the security guard catches it, it seems like it's over. It's like, well, shit, like we lost, we didn't catch the ball. Marilyn Manson comes and stabs Jolene in the stomach, and Mirashone is like, I'm going to take your most valuable organ, and then for the rest, I'm going to use your dad's stand, which Foo Fighters has been hiding with them the whole time.
With tiny little hands holding it inside her chest. Have you guys seen that?
Yes. Like, it looked like it was in the back.
It's like in her back or in her torso, but it's like two little tiny hands grabbing it.
Yeah, and remember, Marilyn Manson always knows where things are that it needs to collect from you, so you can't hide anything from Marilyn. It turns out that Jolene has the ball with her, and it's because she using her thread, was able to
She's
disassemble the ball that was in the guy's pocket and bring it back to her and then put it back together.
And she says, like, you didn't say who I had to play catch with.
Right.
So I guess she counted it as though the guard caught it and she pulled it back from him within 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I don't think that should count because nobody threw it to her. She used her thread to get it. So I don't think that should count.
Well.
But whatever. Marilyn Manson accepts this and gives her back everything, and then Jolene is able to punch the shit out of Miroshon. I agree that ending kind of doesn't make sense because Jolene didn't believe in her heart that she was cheating, so Marilyn should have never tried to take the stand CD or Jolene's organ, you know?
Yeah, it was just for dramatic sake, I think.
In the comic, I'm a little bit fuzzy now because I've like read both summaries, but it's that she tells Foo Fighters to throw the ball to her even though the elevator's going down. She throws it and Jolene uses Stone Free to disassemble the ball in the same like fashion, pull apart the threading, rip the hide away and pull the ball through the metal grating and then grabs it. And Miroshon is like, hey, that's cheating. And Jolene's like, no, in baseball, if something happened to the ball and it broke into a million pieces, if the catcher catches all the pieces, that counts. That's how it works in baseball. And I think that's true. That like if the leather comes off the ball, but you catch both pieces, then that counts. And so I think this is the reflection of if you don't think it's cheating, then it's not. Whereas Hermes was like, I kind of used my stand back there, and she feels bad and loses her liver. So in the manga, she's like, yeah, I didn't cheat, so Marilyn Manson doesn't get to activate here. And then she's like, if you don't give us back all our stuff, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And Miroshon's like, okay, look, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to get parole. And you see like Hermes get her liver back. And FF tells Jolene like, hey, I just saw Hermes get her liver back and stuff. And then while they're talking, a guard comes up to Jolene, the same one, and grabs the ball out of her hand. And that's when Miroshon, she fake like groveled. And now she's like, haha, you lose the game because, it wasn't 1,000 yet. And so Marilyn Manson pops out and does steal something. It like punches Jolene through her stomach. It donuts her. And then I think it also grabs the disc somehow from FF. But it seems like Jolene just beats the shit out of her anyway. I guess it's like she lost an organ, but she's still tough enough to hit her in the face with a ball. And so then she bounces the ball off her, I guess 500 times if you think about it. Each bounce is probably, 2 volleys. So we can assume that this hurt a lot.
So
and I think it's...
Is Hermes just hanging out without a liver this whole time?
Yeah, she's just laying there.
She's just bleeding out.
Yeah, nobody took her to the hospital or anything, the prison ward. So they could be like, golly gee, this lady doesn't have a liver right now.
Sucks.
It would probably take them a while. That wouldn't be the first thing you look for. Although I guess if you work in a prison and someone has a hole down there, you might be like, is this a black market thing? But yeah, so it's a little bit different in the comic. I think I like the comics better because it reminds me of the Jotaro thing where Alessi's like, ha ha ha, now you're a baby. And then he just hits him anyway. I think that's a fun logic that's in a lot of shonen manga probably, of just being like, but the hero was so tough that he beat him up anyway. But I liked it anyway. And I like that Jolene's like, it's not cheating for me to unravel the ball midair and pull it through a fence. Great
stuff.
Great stuff. Absolutely.
I like how Miroshon's hair is just a loop.
Yeah.
We talked about that, about how you could do that.
Oh, shit. My bad.
That's what I was talking about with like have the strip of her hair, pull it around and make it into hair plugs.
I don't know why. I thought you were talking about someone else.
Oh, okay.
It is interesting that in the flashback, Miroshon does not have that. Her hair,
flashback?
When she's talking to Pucci in the beginning.
Oh, that's a flashback?
Sorry, in the comic, they start on the basketball, like athletic area, and then they jump back to... I guess it's not a flashback. It could
be like a meanwhile.
But I doubt it would be like that same day, because again, her hair changes.
Her hair is different actually in the anime too. I noticed that. She doesn't have the loop in the beginning. She just has like a bunch of hair in her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she became a JoJo's character when she got the stand, so she had to have a weird
she was normal.
look.
And then she just grew her hair out really fast. Maybe she stole someone's hair in a bet.
Do we think that she's going to become a JoBro?
No.
Okay.
I don't want her around.
Yeah.
She's kind of gross.
Why is she gross?
I don't know. She's kind of hot, but also I don't know why your hair links together and your stand takes people's organs out.
Yeah.
It's weird. And just debt collectors are gross. I noticed something while looking up the info from the JoJo fan wikis. So I've told you guys that there's 2 fan wiki websites, right? For JoJo's.
Sure.
Well, there's also been one when I copy and paste it. When you paste it, it somehow stores in your clipboard this other block of text that's like, this is from JoJo's Bizarre Encyclopedia and must be attributed. And I'm like, yeah, this is so annoying. And I just delete it. But I actually read it this time.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, this content comes from JoJo's Bizarre Encyclopedia, jojowiki.com, and must be attributed to its authors as specified in the license. JoJo's Bizarre Wiki, the fandom wiki, is prohibited from using it for repeatedly copying without giving credit.
Oh, shit.
So there is apparently beef between the two JoJo wikis. I don't know which one I like better. I think they both have important information, but I wish all this fighting would stop.
Mm.
Do they show the gold tooth that Hermes has in the anime?
I didn't notice the gold tooth.
I don't think so.
When Marilyn Manson is kind of rummaging through her and it takes the titty money out and eventually is like, you also have a liver I could use. It takes one of her gold teeth out too. She has a gold filling. So it's really, really gross, just rummaging through her body for stuff.
Yeah.
Miles, what are your final thoughts?
I just think it's neat that this whole thing was a game of catch. That was really cool. Also, FF is very funny to me.
Yeah, FF is great. I like that she drinks other people's
and their
backwash.
stand is way cool that they shoot out this goop. Because I was wondering, it shows them shooting in the intro, and I was like, what is this? Bucciolati? Or not Bucciolati, Mista? But it's pretty cool and different the way it's employed.
We talked about how this is similar a little bit to Darby Brothers, and I think Darby Brothers could they could have fit right into a jail, that stand and that idea of just making a game, or this idea, right, of just making an episode of just a game that fits in well with a prison. So what other stands have we seen in previous seasons that you think could also be take place in a prison?
Well, someone wrote in and mentioned the rock, paper, scissors, boys to men stand.
Yeah.
So I think that would fit in pretty well in a jail.
I feel like nothing with weapons because you're not supposed to have weapons.
You're not supposed to, but I mean, we had a sniper in this comic as well.
Yeah, that's true. I guess if you have enough money, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, this jail really takes to heart the idea that you could just bribe somebody for anything. So in that case, I guess you could say that the Darby the Younger could have a fucking Super Nintendo in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's one thing where I'm like, I don't know if you'd be able to get a TV and F-Zero knockoff game into the prison, but whatever. What else would be a good... There's definitely a money stand in JoJolion that's ridiculous. But
isn't there one that turns things into gold or something?
Rumpelstiltskin?
I thought there was a stand that turns stuff into gold.
Maybe.
Shigechi's little stand, maybe? But that's not
that just finds all the coins and shit, right?
I think that would be one. That could work in prison.
Yeah, just have little helpers go around and just finds all the shanks.
Yes.
You just make a big giant shank out of all the sharpened toothbrushes. Yeah. Oh, Mariah's magnet stand would be really useful because you could magnetize people to the bars and stuff.
Ooh.
You just hurt people by slamming them. Oh, something else that was in the comic that I really liked was when they're playing catch going back into the prison. At one point, FF throws the ball to Jolene or vice versa, I forget. And you see one of the female inmates being like, what's this ball doing here? And she goes to grab it, or she's just noticing it. And Jolene sees this and freaks out. She then grabs another, a nearby inmate's hand with Stone Free and just slams it into the other girl's face.
Mm.
So she just has one prisoner hit the other one so she doesn't catch the ball.
Mm.
Maybe they took it out because it's just random mean-spiritedness to two innocent women, one of whom just wanted to catch a ball. But it is really funny to just
You're making me sad that they didn't expand this into a 3-episode thing.
Oh, that would have been too much. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess just because of our podcast doing it weekly, I don't like those longer ones, but
I want to know where Emporio was this whole time. They were playing catch. Where's Emporio?
That's true.
With his little baseball and his little glove.
yeah, later he's like, "You mean to fucking tell me you played baseball? Have you seen me? You didn't ask me for any help."
I could have played catch with you guys. Come on.
Yeah. Emporio would have been able to catch it even if you threw it at a trash can.
Mm-hmm. That's what they should have done. They should have just last minute thrown it into a trash can, and Emporio's there like, haha, I got it.
He has that glow around him, that like powerful sort of flame glow.
Mm.
All he was doing was just in a small place. That's all I got.
Great.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We are on Twitter at JJBPod. You can also write to us if we missed anything. JoJo's Bizarre Pod at gmail.com is the email address. And please give us a rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. The 5-star rating is the best way to go. It'll make you the happiest, not just us. And yeah, tune in next week when we talk about whatever episode 10 is. Until then, stay safe, and even though it looks fun, don't go to jail.
Mm.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.